Hello. So this is the second video of the prerequisite of analog electronics. So in the previous video, we have discussed the conductor, insulator, type of semiconductor, intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor, the type of the extrinsic semiconductor as N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductor. Now we will discuss the extrinsic semiconductor. What is the extrinsic semiconductor? So extrinsic semiconductor in pure semiconductor in pure form is known as extrinsic semiconductor. Means if we will not add any impurity in the semiconductor, then that semiconductor is called extrinsic semiconductor. So for example, this is the atomic configuration of the germanium. So in this germanium, there is no impurity added by the doping. So in the outermost, 4 electrons are available. So this is the example of intrinsic semiconductor. So pure germanium and pure silicon are the example of intrinsic semiconductor. In short, pure semiconductor is called intrinsic semiconductor. At room temperature, the number of electrons in the intrinsic semiconductor is equal to number of holes at the room temperature. Because if we increase the temperature, then it might be possible that the covalent bond is broken and number of electrons is not equal to number of holes. That's why the condition is that at the room temperature in intrinsic semiconductor, number of electrons equal to number of holes. Now this is the energy diagram of the intrinsic semiconductor. The lower band is called valence band and upper band is called conduction band, and Fermi level must lie in between the conduction band and valence band. So in intrinsic semiconductor, Fermi level is lie in between the conduction band and valence band. In extrinsic semiconductor, there are two types of semiconductor, N-type semiconductor and P-type semiconductor. In N-type semiconductor, number of majority charge carrier is electron, and in P-type semiconductor, number of majority charge carrier is holes. So for the N-type semiconductor, Fermi level lie near the conduction band. So this is the Fermi level for the N-type semiconductor, N-type extrinsic semiconductor, and for the P-type semiconductor, Fermi level lie near the valence band. So this is for the P-type semiconductor. So for intrinsic semiconductor, Fermi level lie in between the conduction band and valence band. For N-type semiconductor, Fermi level lie near the conduction band, and for the P-type semiconductor, Fermi level lie near the valence band. Now extrinsic semiconductor. What is the extrinsic semiconductor? Means if we add an impurity to pure semiconductor to increase the charge carrier, then it becomes extrinsic semiconductor. So if we want to improve the conductivity of the intrinsic semiconductor, then we will add the impurity by the doping process. So if we will add the doping to increase the number of charge carrier in the semiconductor, then that semiconductor is called extrinsic semiconductor. In extrinsic semiconductor, without breaking the covalent bond, we can increase the number of charge carrier by adding the either trivalent impurity or pentavalent impurity. The example of trivalent is boron and aluminum, and example of pentavalent is phosphorus, arsenic. For example, this is the example of extrinsic semiconductor. So in extrinsic semiconductor, this is the silicon semiconductor, and in silicon we are adding the arsenic, which is pentavalent impurity, as a impurity by the doping process. So if we add the doping first of all, then it becomes extrinsic semiconductor. Since we are adding the pentavalent impurity, that's why it becomes n-type semiconductor. Now comparison between the intrinsic semiconductor and the extrinsic semiconductor. As we know, the pure semiconductor is called intrinsic semiconductor. So intrinsic semiconductor is in pure form. Which if we not add any impurity, then that semiconductor is called intrinsic semiconductor. The extrinsic semiconductor, it is formed by adding the trivalent or pentavalent impurity to a pure semiconductor is called extrinsic semiconductor. So if we will add the impurity either trivalent or pentavalent, trivalent means atom means it carries 3 electron in the outermost orbit, and in pentavalent, penta means 5, tri means 3. So pentavalent means it carries 5 electron in the outermost orbit. So in intrinsic semiconductor, number of holes is equal to the number of electrons. In extrinsic semiconductor, number of holes are more in p-type semiconductor. हम लोग देखेंगे आगे रीजन why number of holes is more in p-type semiconductor and why number of electrons is more in n-type semiconductor. But right now, number of holes are more in p-type semiconductor and number of electrons are more in n-type semiconductor. It means that in p-type semiconductor, majority charge carrier is holes and minority charge carrier is electron, and vice versa. In n-type semiconductor, majority charge carrier is electron and minority charge carrier is holes. Now, third is Fermi level lie in between the valence band and conduction band, जो कि हम लोगों ने एनर्जी डायग्राम से ऑब्जर्व किया था. For extrinsic semiconductor, Fermi level lie near the valence band in p-type and near the conduction band for the n-type. Fourth, the ratio of majority and minority charge carrier is unity, because in intrinsic semiconductor, number of electrons is equal to number of holes. So if we will take the ratio, then it will be 1. Now, comparison between the n-type semiconductor and p-type semiconductor. So n-type semiconductor, if we add pentavalent impurity, then it becomes n-type semiconductor. If we add trivalent impurity in the intrinsic semiconductor, then it becomes p-type semiconductor. In n-type semiconductor, majority are electrons, majority charge carrier are electrons, and in p-type semiconductor, majority charge carrier are holes. In n-type semiconductor, minority charge carriers are holes and minority charge carrier in p-type semiconductor are electrons. In n-type semiconductor, Fermi level lie near the conduction band, and in p-type semiconductor, Fermi level lie near the valence band. Now, n-type semiconductor. How n-type semiconductor is formed? When we add pentavalent impurity, for example, phosphorus, arsenic, then impurity to the pure semiconductor or intrinsic semiconductor, we get the n-type semiconductor. So if we add the arsenic, this is the arsenic. So if we add the arsenic, this is the pentavalent impurity. So if we add in the pure semiconductor, then it becomes n-type semiconductor. In this image, we can see. So this is the silicon pure semiconductor, and in pure semiconductor, we are adding the arsenic by the doping process as a impurity. So it becomes an extrinsic type semiconductor, and since arsenic is pentavalent impurity, that's why it becomes n-type semiconductor. As we know, arsenic atom has 5 valence electron, that's why it's called pentavalent impurity because arsenic atoms carry 5 electrons in the valence band. Fifth electron, so therefore pentavalent impurity donates. So for the covalent bond, there are 4 covalent bond will be formed with the silicon atom and 1 electrons are free, which is donated. That's why pentavalent impurity is known as donor, because 1 electron is extra. So if the arsenic will donate 1 electron, then it becomes positively charged. So therefore pentavalent impurity donates 1 electron and becomes positively donor ion, because it is donating the 1 electron. That's why it is called positive donor ion. Pentavalent impurity is also known as donor because arsenic donating 1 electron, and since it is donating electron, that's why it becomes positive. But whole n-type semiconductor is neutral. Why whole n-type semiconductor is neither positive nor negative? It is neutral because we are adding two. One is the silicon, which is also neutral, and we are adding arsenic, which are also neutral. So we are adding two neutral atoms. So the n-type semiconductor is always neutral in nature. Similarly, in p-type also, p-type is always neutral in nature. So this is the p-type semiconductor. When we add trivalent impurity, as for example boron, aluminum, gallium. So if we add trivalent impurity to pure semiconductor, then it becomes p-type semiconductor. So we are adding so it becomes p-type semiconductor. In this, we can easily see if we add the boron in the intrinsic semiconductor, then it becomes it are accepting 1 electrons, because in the boron only 3 electrons in the valence bond. So to complete the covalent bond, it requires 1 electron. So it accepting 1 electron. That's why its name is acceptor. Pentavalents are donor and trivalent impurity are acceptor. Since by the trivalent impurity accepting 1 electron, see it is negatively, but the whole p-type semiconductor is neutral in nature. So p-type semiconductor, gallium, we are using the gallium. So gallium atom has 3 valence electrons. It makes covalent bond with adjacent 3 electrons of the silicon atom. There is deficiency of 1 covalent bonds and create a holes. Therefore trivalent impurity accept 1 electron and becomes negative acceptor ion. Trivalent impurity is also known as acceptor. Since suppose this is the boron and in outermost only 3 electrons are available. So to complete the covalent bond, it requires 1 electron. So it accepting 1 electron. That's why its name is acceptor, and it is accepting electrons. That's why its name is negative acceptor ion. Now carriers in the p-type semiconductor. We know in p-type semiconductor majority charge carrier is holes and minority charge carrier is electrons. So holes are majority charge carrier and electrons are negatively charged carrier. This is the p-type semiconductor. This is the n-type semiconductor. Both are neutral in nature, and in p-type semiconductor number of holes is more, and in n-type semiconductor number of electrons is more. Now this is the comparison between the n-type semiconductor and the p-type semiconductor. We have seen this slide before. So in now next video we will study the other topics. Thank you.